Hello everyone and welcome back to another EV Geek Studio review. As always, I'm Joel, he's Sebastian, and this 2026 Hummer EV, this is the truck of course, this is the 2X edition. We have reviewed a 2025, so not much changes.
Yeah, so we have done a 2024, a 2025, and now a 2026.
Yes.
And yeah, aesthetically, there's not that many differences. Honestly, powertrain-wise, there's not that many differences. But 2026 is kind of the mid-cycle refresh for the car, and they've fixed a lot of the gripes that I had with the truck, and they've added a couple new drive mode features and things like that. This is the 2X trim level, so this one's kind of the base. This one actually has no options on it, which is kind of neat. Its MSRP is $99,000 after destination. This has the 20 module battery pack. You said 500 some odd horsepower because it's a dual motor.
Yep.
And GM estimates around up to 316 miles of range on the smaller battery.
Yep. So
this being the 20 module pack, it only has it'll peak DC fast charge at around 300 kilowatts versus the 350, 360 kilowatts that you get on the 24 module pack.
570 horsepower. 570 horsepower.
Okay. Which is still not a slouch.
Yep.
But yeah, this is cool. I'm excited to kind of show off some of the new stuff that they've added to this and the things they fixed. There's a couple things on Hummer that really drove me insane, especially for it to have been the GM's kind of flagship vehicle. Not even saying flagship EV, this is kind of their flagship just period. And so I'm really pumped that they finally kind of actually gave it the flagship treatment and went through and fixed a lot of the gripes that people had complained about.
Yep, and a shout out to Everett GMC here in Benton, Arkansas. They've always been great for us to get these vehicles to play around with for a bit. So just like always, if you've seen our reviews before, we'll give you an outside tour, inside tour, infotainment, drive and review, and then our final thoughts. So see you in a second. All right, Sebastian, why don't you give us a tour of this 2026 Hummer EV?
Yeah, so exterior-wise, not a lot has changed, but we'll give a quick rundown for those who maybe are new to Hummer. So, every Hummer on the front fender will tell you what trim level it is. This is the 2X. The 2 means dual motor. There is also a 3X version that is a tri-motor. This one being the dual motor, it also has the smaller battery pack. So 20 module pack instead of a 24 module pack. It's around 180 kilowatt hours, if I remember correctly, and about 300 kilowatt peak DC fast charge rate. This having no options, these are the standard wheels and tires that it comes on. So it's these all-terrains that are kind of light all-terrain tires. These are, what are they? Are they 20? These are 22s, okay. There's also a Meteor option that's on an 18-inch wheel that are mud tires. It was pretty sweet. You can also see air suspension if you want to take a peek in there.
I was looking at
how gigantic that shock is.
It's huge.
We do have it all the way up in extract mode right now, which Joel, you'll have fun with that later.
I have to crawl back in the back seat here in a minute.
And yeah, and you come around outside. I mean, this thing again is kind of just built in shape like a tank. Everything is very boxy and squared off. Like you have this giant boxed off mirror. You can see you do have 360 cameras. There's one of the lenses right there. You also get your proximity key and access on all 4 doors. Love to see it. American flag right there, because heck yeah, this thing's American.
American as they get.
Come around back again, gigantic air strut.
My goodness.
Charge port is on the back driver's side. Here you have your J1772 CCS port.
No NACS on this.
No NACS on this. This can charge on Tesla superchargers. However, this has the same disclaimer that we have to make on every one of these double stack GM packs. Where on the current Tesla superchargers, except for I guess the one station that's a V4 that's not actually open to non-Teslas yet. So V4, because we have a lot of V4 posts, not V4 cabinets. Those only support up to 500 volt charging. So since this vehicle, when charging, in order to get that 300 kilowatt speed, it becomes an 800 volt car. So on a Tesla supercharger that doesn't do over 500 volts, this will be in 400 volt mode, and it'll top out at around 150, 160-ish kilowatts. Yep.
And that's the way it is in almost all 800 volt.
Yeah.
On the Tesla supercharger.
Right.
Yep.
Come around back here, I do appreciate this one being that it's the base and doesn't have the off-road package. You don't have the gigantic D-rings on the back, the off-road hooks, but you do still get all your trailer plugs, which is nice, and this has hookups for trailer cameras, which is cool. There's some pretty cool stuff that GM does on their trailering systems, especially involving cameras, which is nice. This has the GMC tailgate that's split. You can hit this one button, drops down, is assisted. It is not assisted back up. You can also hit the little button. Hit the little button. There you go. Fold down just the top half, and this also comes up, and so then you can kind of use it as a load stop.
Yep.
And you can hit them both in rapid succession.
And now it's a step.
And now you can either use it to just get closer to stuff in your bed, or fold it down. You can use it as a step. That said, there's no handle or anything, so good luck. And you can also take this and bring it back up. It's a little difficult.
It's heavy, isn't it?
And use it as just kind of a full, just a load stop down in this position as well. And get it all folded up and latched, and I'll put it back down. There we go. And the bed back here, so this is not like the other Ultium trucks or GM trucks. You only have one power outlet. And this is a 400 watt outlet, so it's not like big power. But for 2026, they did add the ability through the charge port. This car can now, or truck can now do AC power out with an accessory that GM sells, so you can have it plugs into the charge port, and then it's like basically a surge protector.
Yep.
And there's settings on the screen we'll talk about more. This vehicle also now supports GM's home backup system. The Power Shift is the name of it.
We actually chatted with Chevy about that in our Bolt video, so check that out.
And so with that system, you can actually do whole home backup type situation. It offloads DC power from the battery, does inverting on the house, etc. It wasn't supported on a Hummer until 2026.
You do get some lights back here, though.
You do get some lights, yes.
If I can reach them and see them, goodness, that's a long way in there.
That back window also rolls down. Although we have a temp tag on there, so we won't roll it down. I don't want to lose it. Also, as we've talked about on Hummer before, all the lights on here kind of have that H shape to them.
The dog bone shape.
You can see that's an H. That's an H.
I never noticed that one up there.
And you'll notice just as you go around the car, more and more stuff is shaped like H's. This one does come standard with these rhino-lined running boards that I already scraped myself on once.
Sebastian's got a workman's comp claim.
And Joel,
oh, sweet Jesus.
You want to climb up into this thing?
Yeah. All right. So, back seat, as you can see, it's a little tight.
I did not move that seat. I don't know if that seat's in a normal spot.
I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit. It's a little tight. It's pretty far back. But as you can see back here, we have climate control. You have USB-C port back here. Leather. This also pulls down. You get two cup holders down here. And you also, looks like, have a cup holder in the door over there. But yeah, I mean.
You also get the removable roof. This being the base model with no options. This is not the transparent roof panels. These are just kind of hard black plastic. I'm not going to take the roof off today because it's kind of wet and gross. And I just kind of don't want to. But I do love driving these things around, and especially in good weather. Roof off, all windows down, including the rear. It's a convertible.
Yes,
it's a convertible pickup truck, which
is
awesome.
We did that on one of our reviews. I think we took everything off and drove it around, which is fun. So.
Which is fun.
Now I get to get back out.
Now you get to get back out. You're wearing jeans, so you won't scrape yourself at least.
I'm a smart cookie.
The only other thing we'll look at real quick on the outside is you still get a front trunk. To open it, you've got also full light bar across the front. Hummer, there's those H's again.
There's those H's.
Open the front trunk, you have a button you can use on the key fob, or you can press on the button up front, give it a second to unlatch. And it's got a bunch of the accessories in. You've got floor mats and some charge cables.
I think those are the covers.
Those are the bags for the top, right. But again, still no power outlets in the front trunk, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yep.
Especially because we've seen on,
Is that on all models or just the 2X?
I think that's on all of them.
Okay.
Because we've seen like on Escalade, on Silverado, on Sierra, you get at least something in the front, but nothing on this one. To close, you could either use the key fob or this. If you use the key fob, it does tell you you have to open it, you double tap. To close it, you have to press
Show that again.
And hold.
They actually gave you a cheat sheet.
And anyway, it just gives you the little instructions because it is a slightly different process.
There you go.
But yeah, not a whole, you do still get also, sorry,
the front.
As soon as I say that, you do still get your big shackles here on the front, just not on the rear.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna get set up. We'll do a little inside tour, infotainment, and check out some of the new updates to the software. See you in a sec. All right, Sebastian's getting ready to hop in. So,
yeah, this is the first major change on Hummer. There is no longer a start button. You just put your foot on the brake.
it's gone.
It's gone.
Yep. Wow, when it is when it's cloudy up, it's pretty dark in here.
You'll also, so that's a pretty big change there. You'll notice it feels and looks very similar to the other cars, but the other second big change is the infotainment system is completely revamped. This is now, it was the same software before. It was this Android automotive system, but they fixed the CPU or whatever was causing it to lag so bad. I remember that drove me insane. Because again, that was GM's flagship car, and you would tap stuff on the screen and then just wait.
Yep.
And now I can actually open stuff, like if I tap on maps, boom, maps. Go back home. Boom, we're back home. Vehicle status. Boom, we're in vehicle status. Like there was these animations that would play before, and that's one big thing.
lag.
Yeah. And that's one thing I think that kind of helped is they kind of got rid of, like, for example, on drive modes used to, it would play this like little, it was cool. It was like Unreal Engine or Unity Engine, whatever, rendering of a truck driving on the moon or something. Now when you turn the knob, it just shows you kind of the typical GM drive mode selection with a static image. It works. Yep. It's not anything complicated. It's not anything fancy. And so, yeah, coming in here, this is the normal GM infotainment system that they're putting on all their vehicles now. You also do, unfortunately, for 2026, since it's the new software, newer radio, no more Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on Hummer.
And they're doing that for all their vehicles.
Yep. Hummer still had it, and Lyric still had it. However, I think they both lose it for 2026. But coming in here, this is the system that we're kind of used to. So you can come in here to vehicle status. You have your tire. You can click on these little things and see energy usage and efficiency and each individual tire pressure. You can also come up here, see there, and you can add it to your driver display like the other vehicles. And now you can see it is on the left-hand side of the display. I'm actually going to remove. You can also relearn the sensors on here, which is awesome if you're using this as a, off-road vehicle, whatever. You're putting different tires on, anything like that. You have your energy info screen, so you can see this is the typical GM stuff where you can see what's using your juice, your efficiency. Also, like that GM is starting to throw in a capacity gauge. So it does take time to calibrate, but once it does, it'll actually show you like, oh, you have 98% capacity remaining versus when the truck was new, things like that. So I like that we're seeing more and more manufacturers actually consider degradation.
Yeah, the EV9 my wife has
and start communicating to the end user like what your degradation might be. You also have your general trip stuff, and you can add kind of all of this stuff to that driver display over there on the left. Come back home. You've got Google Assistant here, of course. You have Play Store, which if this has the newer software, you have to sign in. It's like if it has the newer software, you should be able to install media apps as well, which is awesome. You have your charge menu, so this is very similar to what we've seen before, except now you can tell it that it'll let you set down to 30%. Now it used to be 50%, which on a battery this large, that's still 90 miles, so that's honestly probably enough for most people. And let's see what it says at 100%. 308.
So going back to those media apps, what media apps are available to download?
So
in the Play Store?
I don't know specifically.
I've heard we could see it on there, so.
But
I don't know which ones are available. I've heard like Netflix, things like that.
Yeah, and it's very picky, kind of. It depends on whether or not the company wants to use it, whatever. But it is your typical streaming apps and things like that.
Would they stream over the car's Wi-Fi, or do you have to connect to like one of your hotspots?
So you could use either the car's built-in data, or you could connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot.
There you go. The more you know.
But yeah, coming back into charging menu, so you have your charge schedules for charge now, charge later. You can set up charge locations if the car is tied to account. There's more schedules. This is that energy transfer feature I was talking about. So you can tell it, like, I want to be able to transfer power until the battery's down to 20%. Let's see, how low does it go?
Wow.
Wow. Very cool.
Yep.
Set it back to 20. You can also set a timer on this, so if you only want it to do transfer for an hour, you could do it that way as well.
So if you're out working somewhere,
And this is the transfer energy from through the charge port, so once it's plugged in, you could turn that on or off if you wanted to. You can come in your settings. You can come in here to do, whoops, wrong one. On-demand battery preconditioning. You can hit start, Now it's telling me it's already ready to plug in. We're good. You can set up your home locations. Again, you have the same thing. Here's that automatic backup power I was talking about. So if you have the GM power shift equipment, you can turn that on to where it will automatically kick on if you lose power, which is great. You can also set up your charge cord limit of only 24 to 16 amps. That's kind of a bummer.
Car this big, you'd want more amps.
I believe. Will you get me the window sticker out real quick? Yeah, because this has an 80 amp onboard charger. You would think you'd get more than those two options, but I mean, at least you're able to do it, because we have seen a lot of cars that won't let you do that. In the spirit, like I was mentioning before, they kind of simplified. Wow, that was hard for me to get out. Things.
Words are tough.
If I come in here to off-road, this is another menu that used to be kind of over-engineered, and now is kind of much simpler to go through, where you kind of get quick, easy access stuff, and you can kind of swipe through and change what each quadrant shows. Because it's not quadrant, there's only 3 of them. Yeah. Tridrant? Is that a word? Anyway.
We're just making up words.
But yeah, so you can come up here and have your pitch. So as you turn the wheels, it'll
and I guess these auxiliaries, you could do presets and save them to those auxiliaries.
So auxiliaries, so you have extra panels on the fuse box, so you could wire up light bars or winches or whatever else. You can also set air down. So as you air down, if you want to air down, you can set what PSI you're going to. Mm-hmm. As you deflate the tires, it'll honk at you when it reaches there. And then again, you have more aux panels, and you can actually come into them and edit. And so, wrong button. What am I doing wrong? There we go. And you can actually select what it is. So is it a winch? Is it an air horn? Is it a siren? Is it whatever else?
Lights, the CB radio.
Yeah. And you have your camera menu. So this is another area that's kind of been simplified over the other years. You have your front and rear cameras. You can do overheads. You can do sides. You have a hitch view. You have a bed view, which is nice.
That's nice. If
you had trailers hooked up, you could do trailer cameras here. And so, yeah, this is just kind of simpler over top. This one being the base model. There's a smiley face on the payment. I didn't even notice. This being the base model, it does not have the cool off-road cameras that are under the truck. But still, and those are semi-decent quality. They're not that bad. You do have Google Maps built in, so I can come in here. This isn't demo mode, so every time I open it, I have to go through and tell it, okay, this is fine. It should do route planning, if I remember correctly. This is another area where I just immediately know it's much quicker. It's because I'm actually able to use the map. There you go. Boom. Route planned automatically. 10 minutes, hour and 15. This is one thing Google Maps I have not figured out yet while it does this. It's trying to do this gigantic gap when I would say
there's so much
charge in the middle.
Yes.
Don't charge for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yes.
Google route planning is not awful. It's just questionable at times.
Yeah. Trying to do filters.
Just see what all was in there. Anyway, we'll come back home.
It was only routed to EA, right?
Yeah. Come back home. Do you have a wireless phone charger? Joel's phone's in there right now, and it is charging. You can hit your controls menu, so you can see you have a quick toggle for camera, auto park. Again, your energy transfer. You can hit see more, and you can come in here. You have your one pedal drive, and etc. You also, though, will notice. So you got these up here at the top.
Yep. So
that's if you want to turn the vehicle off. Your vehicle will remain on for 60 minutes, and then you'll notice when I put it in gear, those actually change. Now one pedal drive is up here, so if I tap that, it's off. It's back on to high, and then I can set level if I don't want it on high.
And high is still really high.
High is still really high.
What do you have down here? Is that for your tow?
That's your trailer brake controller.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And coming around here, this is all very similar. So you have your climate controls. So I do appreciate how this is physical hard buttons. There is a screen component, but the actual controls are physical. So you tap down, tap up. You have your heated seats and cooled seats, which is nice. Start to do that. You tap the button you want, and then you tell it heat, cooled.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And I just love how they're very chunky. Physical button for your heated steering wheel. One tap, easy to do.
We just
reviewed a different car, and that made me really upset.
Yep.
Got your parking sensors, traction control, and auto park stuff. Vents, wireless charger, and a cubby. USB ports. Big shifter. Knob. The knob's slightly different.
Yes.
So this knob is, again, how you change drive mode. So you rotate it. pops up on the screen. You tell it which
It's
one
also
you want.
how you do CrabWalk, which
We're getting there.
we'll
We're
talk
getting there,
about
Joel.
later. Yeah.
Slow down.
I'm
slow
getting
down.
anxious.
You have your ride height, so you can come up here, and if I tap it on the screen, you'll see it pop up right now. We're in, oh, it says we're in normal. Entry, exit, normal, increased, and extract. So I'm actually going to drop it back down to normal. Vehicle lowering,
Okay.
nice. You have this button for rear wheel steer, so you can turn rear wheel steer off and on, or you can press and hold. And if you'll actually look up, because it should pop up on the screen, just keep pressing and holding.
They did keep that animation.
Oh, I did it wrong. I do this every time. There we go. You can see now I have a crab, which is my favorite indicator lamp.
Yep.
And now if I put it in gear, I should be able to.
See here, but we'll get a
It's hard
video
to see, but I'll get some B-roll.
Yep.
The wheels are turning the same direction, and we are kind of driving
Straight.
but also diagonal. And I like that it actually does
Yeah.
guidelines on the camera showing you the path you're going to take. I think is hilarious. But yeah, if you look back up on the top, you can pretty clearly see it here. We were just straight up
But his wheel is turned. Yep.
driving straight diagonal, and then obviously if I turn it any sharper, it will actually turn. So CrabWalk, everyone knows CrabWalk. CrabWalk's not what I'm excited about. Remember I mentioned earlier, God, that's so weird.
Yeah.
There's a new drive mode. So I'm gonna take it out of CrabWalk, put it back into auto, and you'll notice this button here. This was the button that used to, when you pressed it, would just pop up and say epic ideas at gmc.com. Now, if you press it and hold it, King Crab. And now it's active. You'll see you have another amazing little indicator light, but it's now a purple crab. And King Crab adds in even more rear wheel steer.
It's even more.
So if you want to just kind of poke out the window real quick.
There you go.
Let's see. I'm actually going to back you out a little bit.
There you go.
Let's see how I haven't done this yet. And so I can see in my mirror. Okay, let me see how far. Okay, that is max on the rear.
Okay. Look at that.
It like swings.
It's like you're almost trying to do donuts.
And we're going to get some B-roll of this
Yep.
because this is very fun.
It's like you can do donuts without doing donuts.
So yeah, we'll get some B-roll of
Yeah.
that because that is very fun
it's
and
like-
a very weird feeling.
It's a lot easier. So, anything else you want to show off in here?
Not much. I mean, you still get these good seats. I like the materials. I like this kind of rubberized
Yep.
material, and then the leather.
Feels good
centers.
quality.
Yeah, and it feels rugged. It
Yep.
feels tough, which is what you should want in a vehicle like this. You have good storage. You got your center console here.
Put
Pop
a
that
six
out.
pack down there. You need to.
12-volt outlet. They did, it looks like, take away the customizable gauge cluster. So on the old Hummer, you could kind of choose what was on each side. Now you can only kind of cycle through those basic three things I talked about before: energy, trip,
Yep.
tire pressures. This does have Super Cruise, and we're going to find out when we drive it. I think it has the new Super Cruise that lets you do lane centering hands-on,
Really?
separate from Super Cruise, because that was the big complaint with Super Cruise before, was you only got lane centering if you were using full-blown Super Cruise. I believe now you can actually do just hands-on, regular, plain Jane lane centering. We'll see.
Gotcha.
Hope so.
Well, we're going to get set up. We'll actually maybe get our B-roll footage of our CrabWalk real quick, get set up, and then we'll do a driver review and check out that Super Cruise. Stay tuned. All right, just started recording, and Sebastian found something cool out. What is it, Sebastian?
Yeah, so we are on just a random... Oh, okay, it was not on for very long. We're on just a random 2-lane road, and Super Cruise turned on. This is a city street. This is not a numbered highway. This is a city street.
You had it for about a half mile, probably.
Yeah, but now it is doing hands-on lane centering.
Really?
So it does indeed have the newest Super Cruise version on it, which is awesome.
Yep.
And okay, it turned red because it couldn't see since it lost some lane lines there for a second. And we are...
Yeah, we're kind of a little bit out in the country a little bit.
But like, I'm still amazed because again, I want to make sure it's clear. That was not... this is not a highway. This is not a numbered road. This is not...
If you're looking at the cameras, you can see this is
a residential street.
subdivisions with, drainage on both sides of the road.
So yeah, anyway, I didn't really plan to start talking this soon, but I was like surprised. So just right off the bat, it is not loud in here.
Nope.
I think this is the first one, if I remember correctly, that we've driven that hasn't been on the actual mud tires. It's, at least at city streets, on city speeds, it's not bad.
Nope.
And considering this morning we drove a Lucid Air, that was way louder than this.
It was that Lucid Air, that motor noise was outrageous.
Yeah, it had some crazy motor noise going on. And honestly, it had a lot of wind noise too, I noticed. Now, I'm expecting on the interstate, this is going to have wind noise. I mean, we know Hummer did before.
Still not the best camera quality right there.
Yeah, it's like blurry. Further you get away from the truck, the blurrier it is. I don't know if you can kind of tell that. Like, the truck itself looks pretty dang clear.
But the signs and the houses over here
but
very
I still like that it's there.
Yeah.
I like that the feature is there. I do still feel like it should have been on this screen.
Yeah.
They should have had it taken over one of these boxes and put it that way instead of having it be over here kind of weird, not looking. But I do appreciate that they are adding the turn signal camera views. If we ever can turn left.
I know, it's a little busy.
It's a little busy right here for some reason. Of course, I could have made it 10 times that time, but those people look
Yeah,
like
you could have won about
they
3
were
or 4
moving
times.
about. They look like they were moving a little quicker than I wanted
You could
them
have went
to.
3 or 4, and we got
And
some
we're
return.
turning.
Bash, I'm gonna need you to step up your driving game.
Sorry, I don't want to wreck the $100,000 truck. By the way, this is $100,000. Did we mention
Yes.
that?
99.
99, one something.
Yep. Sticker was 96, but added some options.
Well, not options, delivery.
Delivery.
And yeah, I think it was actually literally just delivery. It's like $2,500.
Let's look. Since we're gonna be here for another 30 minutes till you drive.
Hey, it's not my fault the light changed. Okay.
So options were front license plate bracket for $40.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Destination charge $2,500.
Yep. That front license plate bracket is the.
Ooh, my cough came back for a minute.
I do also appreciate you still get your digital rearview mirror, and it's good quality.
Yes.
Now
that's good quality.
That's a good quality camera. And really, I know why the turn signal cameras are a bit lower. It's because they're taking the image from the 360 and just cutting it in half. So like I understand why, and that's probably why it's also weirdly clearer towards the middle of the image versus the outer
Farther
edge.
away you get, yep.
But yeah, city streets, it feels fine. We should be, if I remember correctly, yeah, we're normal ride height, just plain Jane.
Should hit that Super Cruise button so you
Simple.
can get it to work again.
So I believe you have to have cruise control set. Yep, there it goes, hands-on lane centering.
Yep.
So it's not, that is one thing I'll knock it. It's not like Hyundai Kia.
Okay.
You know, Hyundai and Kia will let you do lane centering and cruise control completely separate.
So if you're going down a road like this, you can feel the steering wheel tug.
Even if you're not using cruise control.
Yes.
It looks like GM is still requiring you to at least use adaptive cruise in order to have your lane centering. That said, GM is not the only company that does that.
Yeah.
I believe Ford does the same thing and a couple others. So I don't actually fault them too hard on that. I prefer to be able to use them separately, but I understand the thinking. Also, forget that these GM vehicles do the seat vibrations to alert you of things. Like just then, it told me it couldn't see the lane markers because we were in an intersection. There were no lane markers, and it just lightly tapped my butt to tell me like, hey, pay attention. But now we are back in doing lane centering, maintaining speed. I wonder. Okay, outside of Super Cruise, it does not auto lane change. I just was curious.
We didn't get that. Nope.
Yeah. Okay, now that we're doing about 45, you can hear wind noise.
Yeah.
It is also windy out. So that's not even the truck's fault.
Yeah, it's an overcast, kind of dreary day.
And yeah, I mean, really for me, the big thing on the 2026 is that the infotainment system is usable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's roughly the same software as before, but it was just so slow, especially compared to, you know, we drove that truck around the same time that we had driven an Equinox.
In a Blazer.
A Blazer.
Yes.
And all these other vehicles.
All the Cadillacs, yes.
That are not $100,000.
Yep.
And the infotainment system.
Except for the Escalade.
And but even in that, the infotainment system, you know,
was snappy.
Was right on, was quick, was good. And then you got in the Hummer and it's just like, man, why is it so slow? And I guess enough people complained, or GM noticed. I just don't know why it took them so long to finally go in and update the infotainment
2 or 3
system.
years. Yep.
And now it's good again.
Yep.
You know, I think there's two sides of the coin of the whole Apple CarPlay, Android Auto thing. I'm still in the mindset of if the software's good enough, doesn't make me mad. That said, I don't know why you wouldn't just offer it.
Yep.
Like you don't, even if people don't use it because your software is good, like you should still offer it. But I also know GM's in the business of making money.
Yep.
And some of it's so that they can keep you in that OnStar subscription and whatever.
Well, I was reading the article yesterday about it. It's, she made statements. She didn't want the users to constantly have to go back and forth between two things. Because sometimes when you do that, you lose some of the features of what you're wanting to do and some of the things that the software can actually do when you're going back and forth for CarPlay. So, yeah.
Right.
Which makes sense. But like you said, if you have your own good enough software to do that with, like Tesla,
right,
then you can get away with it.
Right.
Or like a Rivian or something like that.
Yeah. Hummer is so fun as well, just in the sense of what, like you are acutely aware of the entire time that you're driving, what you're driving, and how you look to the rest of the world. But it's not in the same way that I feel like Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Cybertruck,
you get a lot of dirty looks.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
In Hummer, you just feel, I don't know, you just feel giant and imposing.
Yes. Plus that rear steer when you're taking corners like
when
this.
you're taking corners, just having that additional angle is amazing.
Parking, big things like that rear steer makes it so much easier.
We're hopefully going to be merging out soon. I have to wait to go. And we'll get on the interstate and actually play around, get to use Super Cruise. I imagine it should be pretty good. It's been pretty decent in every vehicle that we've driven. So I just have to wait for a gap here.
And I believe Super Cruise does have more mapped highways than Ford's Blue Cruise, correct?
Yes. Punch it, Chewy.
And you do have an EV. You can give it a little accelerator.
Get over. Cool. I do forget sometimes though that the rear steer on the Hummer is right at that aggression level that sometimes you feel like you're swinging.
Yeah.
Like you're almost fishtailing out just because, like, for example, right there when I was changing lanes, it felt like it was moving a little too in sync.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Because like you hit a wet spot in the road or something.
Yeah. All right, we are out. Here we are. Interstate. The icon changed from lane centering to Super Cruise. Construction zone detected.
I like that.
But we're hands-free.
Yep.
I'm going to drop my speed a little bit. I didn't mean to be doing 75. I meant to be doing 70. And yeah, so we're hands-free. If I tap my turn signal, auto lane change, looking for an opening, pops up on the cameras on the screen. We are over.
It looks like a different graphic than the last one.
It's the newer. It's the newer software. Wind noise.
Yes.
Galore.
We noticed that in our last summer because we had to drive back somewhere far. Wasn't it Conway? We're doing the test. Yes.
Yeah, it was in that SUV.
It was an SUV.
The one we didn't review, but you had.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, you got some crazy wind noise, but it's shaped like a brick. Turn the damn radio on. Turn the radio on, you'll be fine. You won't really notice it. But since we are reviewing the car and we can't have radio playing while we do it, we notice it. Ooh, 2025 Ioniq 5. Nice. Needs a wash, but it's okay. Mine does too.
It's a little dirty.
Pop over. Smooth as butter.
So what are we averaging? 1.6?
We have been averaging 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour so far. But of course, that's also us sitting in place and things like that. Super Cruise also will, if it starts approaching a car that's moving slower than you, it'll turn the turn signal automatically, switch lanes automatically, get around them. There's not anyone in front of us to show you that with, but it'll do it.
That doesn't show you any animations of any of the cars around you.
Correct.
Like you would get on some of the other vehicles. Yes.
Right. And really, that is one thing I kind of noticed is, even before I say it, let me make sure I'm not missing a button somewhere. Because I was just thinking about how even on Blazer, Equinox, whatever, you can kind of change the gauge cluster screen so that you can have your map on the screen or whatever. Looking for an opening automatically, it detected that this car was getting on and was going to be going on slowly with their license plate that says "Hate to Lose."
Hate to lose. In a Camaro.
And they're barely doing the speed limit. But it got over for them. Let them in. Anyway, I was just thinking about how the other ones you can pull up the map on the gauge cluster screen.
Yep.
But I'm not seeing any way to do that here, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yep.
This is kind of a more basic. It feels like it's the newer software.
Yep.
And maybe they're kind of moving away from that on their new vehicles.
But you can't customize any much on.
But there doesn't seem to be any real customization. That said, if you do have navigation directions going, that does pop up on the right side telling you your turns and things like that. I'm going to pop over real quick so we can loop around here on this exit.
Right.
And Super Cruise performed exactly as I expected it to, which is a good thing.
Yep.
You want a system that is uneventful.
All right, so we're going to pop off this exit. We're going to turn around, head back to Everett, and give you our final thoughts. So stay tuned. See you in a bit. All right, we made it safely back to Everett Buick GMC here in Benton, Arkansas. All right, final thoughts, Sebastian.
Yeah, so, I mean, I love Hummer. This is such a fun vehicle. I love this. I love these things. If money wasn't an object, man,
you'd have two of them. SUV
and a truck.
Yep.
Well, no, if money wasn't an object, you do the Hummer and the Escalade IQ. Those are obviously the right answers.
Yes. One for pleasure, one for business. So yes.
Business in the front, party in the back.
There you go.
Anyway, but I love Hummer, and so I'm super excited to see that GM, in this kind of mid-cycle-ish refresh, fixed all the main gripes that I had with it. You know, the infotainment system is actually responsive and quick and functions properly. The driver's assistance, you can do lane centering outside of Super Cruise. Great. Super Cruise works on even more roads than the last time I used it.
It popped up on the access roads, some city roads, so yeah.
Yeah, like the last time I used it, I worked on interstate and a couple like random highways, like 2-lane highways, but now it's apparently also on random city streets and access roads, which is cool.
Yep.
And it works fine. It works great, and then it's pretty well. This one actually did a really good job of communicating whenever there was an issue, especially like in the hands-on lane centering and stuff. You've got your safety seat, all that stuff. Like, they fixed a lot of issues. There's no longer a start button. You just get in and go.
Yep.
Like, it's great.
Yeah. For me, I like this car. I like it. You're driving Hummer for a purpose. You know, it's kind of show off a little bit. Like, hey, this is a Hummer. It has a status symbol. It's not for efficiency. It's not for a quiet ride. We were on the road. It's noisy. You're driving it for a purpose. Imagine taking all this roof off, driving down the road on a nice summer, spring, fall day. I mean, that's why you're driving, and that's why people are buying Hummers. That's why. And these cars still do sell well. I mean, considering they're $100,000 cars, and they're selling better than, you know, the Silverado EVs and the Sierra EVs.
Yeah,
so,
roughly, yeah.
Roughly. So, I mean, so I'm pretty impressed. I like the new updates, too. It's not as glitchy. Love the new version of CrabWalk, the King Cat CrabWalk.
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
That's a lot of fun.
Again, I don't know that there's any real practical use for it.
Yeah, just a parlor trick. Yep.
But, okay. Premium infotainment system. I'm just curious. Android 14. Nice. I'm just curious if it had a...
He's looking at the software. So.
But yeah, I agree with what you said. Like, King Crab is a lot of fun. CrabWalk's fun too. Again, don't know that there's any real need for it or any real purpose, but it's fun.
It's there to have it. All right, thank you all again for joining us on another EV Geek Studio review. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification icon so you will be notified when new content is dropped. And we will see you again on another one. See you, everyone.